The Jehovah's Witnesses are being investigated in Japan, and it's very serious. Let's get into it. Firstly, for the purpose of this video, we're going to look at the following chapters. We're going to look at the historical overview of the Jehovah's Witnesses in Japan. Then we're going to look at an incident that triggered the investigation. Then we're going to look into the investigation, the conclusion from the investigation, and the response from the government and Jehovah's Witnesses. Let's start at the beginning. In 1911, the Zionist pastor Charles Taze Russell was the first Jehovah's Witness to visit the country of Japan. By 1938, there were already 110 missionaries and converts meeting together to further their work. During World War II, Jehovah's Witnesses in Japan were being imprisoned and tortured. And then by 1945, when World War II ended, the religion had already spread through like wildfire. Currently now, there are 213,000 active members in the country, but we've talked about those figures. We know those figures are... So the incident I referred to was on the 8th of July in 2022. The former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was assassinated while giving a speech. He was one of the most powerful and divisive politicians in Japan. According to the assailant, he attacked him due to his believed connection with the Unification Church in Japan. In a letter by the Associated Press and tweets believed to be his, Yamagami, the assailant, said that his family life was destroyed by the church because of his mother's huge donations. His mother joined the church in 1990, and after that, his entire teenage years were gone, with some 100 million yen being wasted. It's not an exaggeration to say my experience during that time has kept me distorting my entire life, he said. Yamagami was 4 when his father, an executive of a company founded by his grandfather, unalived himself. After this, his mother joined the Unification Church. She began making big donations that bankrupted the family and shattered Yamagami's hope of going to college. His brother later unalived himself too. Yamagami's case also shed light on the children of Unification Church. Many are neglected, experts say, and there's been little help because government and school officials tend to resist interference on religious freedom grounds. If our society had paid more attention to the problems over the past few decades, Yamagami's attack would have been prevented, said Mafumi, a social psychology professor and cult expert from the Niigata Seirei University in Japan. More than 55,000 people have joined a petition calling for the legal protection for second-generation followers who say they were forced to join the church. While all of this led to the Jehovah's Witnesses also being investigated, a group of lawyers submitted a report to the Children and Families Agency on the 20th of November 2023, requesting the government to further investigate the possibility of child abuse within the religious community. The group of lawyers put together a report, and this report is very damning. 81% of the respondents said that they were made to carry a blood transfusion refusal card. This in itself is actually child abuse. 90% said they were physically punished by their parents. Sometimes they were being physically punished for falling asleep at a meeting. And this type of abuse started as early as 3 years old. The report also looked into inappropriate sexual exposure. 81 of the respondents explained that they were exposed to sexual expressions such as the following on the screen, and they were under the age of 12. Of that 81%, 35% said that they were exposed under the age of 6 to this languaging. 45 respondents, including 15 minors, say they were forced to recount their abuse experience to elders in a judicial committee. 60% of those respondents say that they were still struggling to cope with the experience till this day. Here's how authorities have responded to these allegations. Upon receiving the report, the agency chief Ayuko Kato responded that child abuse cannot be justified even if there is religious belief behind it. The Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare in Japan had to say this: showing or orally conveying materials containing sexually explicit content that is inappropriate for the individual's age under the guise of education, and forcing someone to talk to religious organization staff about personal experiences related to their sexuality is considered sexual abuse. Under a pseudonym, here's what a Jehovah's Witness elder had to say. Management within the religious organization has been lax in handling reports of sexual abuse, and that the organization chose to focus on maintaining their reputation and avoiding legal responsibilities. Finally, here's what the Jehovah's Witnesses had to say themselves. We have not engaged in any form of child abuse, and the report is just based on opinions of some people who have negative feelings towards the group. Looking this up has been very interesting. The Jehovah's Witnesses are dealing with a lot at the moment. There's a lot of cases springing up left, right, and center. I can definitely say that they're going to be busy for the next coming months because investigations are just popping up left, right, and center, and they deserve all of this because, as mentioned, they have prioritized their reputation and just making money as an organization at the cost of members, at the expense of minors. This is disgusting, but it's good to see that people are finally speaking up and fighting back all around the world. What do you guys think? Do the Jehovah's Witnesses stand a chance against the Japanese government? Let me know in the comment section. I think that they have a lot of cases on their hands. And the Japanese government right now are in a very tight corner because the country is dealing with a very low birth rate. So they're trying by all means to address any societal issues that could be apprehending this because they want to see more Japanese people having children. But how do people have children when they've been dealing with so much trauma? Japanese has been dealing with a lot of economical issues for the last few decades, along with the government not really prioritizing its people and putting money ahead of its people, because a lot of these churches do fund governments or they do donate to governments and they have connections. And this has led now to a horrible incident because someone believed that a top government official was affiliated to these churches and they are very upset. And the people of Japan are backing up. They're backing up this person, as you guys have seen. There's a petition out there. So the people are fighting back. They are tired of these religions that are exploiting the masses. What do you guys think? Do you think Japan is going to apprehend a few Jehovah's Witnesses? Do you think the Jehovah's Witnesses might get banned? What do you guys think is going to happen in Japan? Let me know in the comment section and I will see you in the next one.